the pitch a little bit at the end, you're telling the listener that you're asking a question. So let's see, we would do number 8, Tim. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Pew, I lost my place.
So, is John going to go out again on a big night? I don't think so. He said it was an exhausting experience.
Correct. Exhausting. Because exhausting is describing an experience. So anytime we take a verb form, a participle, and use it as an adjective, and we're going to describe a person or a thing, we use the ing form. If we're describing the way a person feels, we use the ed form. So, well, we did that well. Yeah, we did that well. Very good. So, you are a very, very advanced class. You do well with the exercises. You do well with the exercises because you're conscientious. You know what I mean by conscientious? Conscientious means you try to think real hard. You do real well with the exercises because you're conscientious and you're also very clever. You're intelligent students. So that's why every day, from now, the rest of this week and next week, while I have time with you, we're going to practice those recordings to get better at listening and get better at pronunciation. But okay, we did really, really well. We have time for question. Oh, how do I spell conscientious? It's a big word. It's an adjective and it describes a person. Conscientious. 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 And conscientious means that you think, you try real hard. You try real hard. You all are conscientious about learning English. Now, there is a word similar to this. A word similar to that is your conscience. Your conscience. And your conscience is what you think about when you know that you want to try to do the right thing. Your conscience are the thoughts you have in your mind when you want to do the right thing. For example, Pew had a grocery store, right? And let's say the customer meant to give you a note of 100 baht, but gave you a note instead for 500 baht. Would you call that to the customer's attention? Well, because your conscience would tell you that the right thing to do would be that'd be the honest thing to do. When yesterday I was buying a piece of fruit on the street, across the street from my apartment, And I had just been to the ATM, and I had some 20 baht notes that were very, very crisp, brand new. And you know how notes will stick together when they're real crisp, when they're brand new? So I handed the vendor, the woman selling me the fruit, a 20 baht note. The note stuck together. I thought I was giving her 20 baht, but just one note. But actually, three of them stuck together, and I gave her 60 notes. Well, she handed me the 40 notes back, the other 2 notes back, because of her conscience. Because of her conscience. Your conscience are thoughts that drive you to do, that cause you to do the right thing, to be honest. That's conscience. So, you can see how the word conscience is related to conscientious. Not the same word, but conscience is a noun, refers to your honesty, what causes you to be honesty. Conscientious is an adjective, which means that you're trying to do the right thing. You're working very hard. So they're similar, but not quite the same. Thank you, Pramaha Suraphet. Yeah, they keep me from slipping. All right. Well, you did very well. We probably have time before our break to do one more lesson that's very quick, very easy, but important. So let me find it here. Now, when do we use still, and when do we use anymore? Can you see okay, Nat? Okay. When do we use still, and when do we use anymore? Well, it's a pretty simple rule, but they're easy to get mixed up. We use still when we want to mean up to the present time. And I'll give you some examples in sentences. Up to the present time. And it tells us that the action is still continuing. It's going on. It continues. And normally we'll put still in front of the verb that it modifies. Still is an adverb. It's a word that modifies a verb. So, I am still standing. It means I've been standing and I continue to stand. I was sitting, but now I'm standing, I'm still standing. Anymore means that the action that happened in the past has stopped, and we normally put anymore right at the end of a negative sentence. So, I am still standing. Okay? I'm not standing anymore. Okay? So we always use anymore at the end of a negative sentence to show that the action that was just happening is not happening anymore. So, he is still living in Cambodia. He still works at the bank. Now that means that he used to live in that he was living in Cambodia, and he is presently living in Cambodia. But then if we said that he's not living in Cambodia anymore, we would say he does not live in Cambodia anymore. Anymore means the action that had been happening has ended. Still means the action that had been happening is continuing. That's the difference. Want to practice that real quickly? Let's practice it quickly. This one is in this little book. Okay? And when I went to the cabinet to find these books, I couldn't find all of them. I only found 8 of them. So we'll have to share, I guess. We'll have to share. I don't know what happened to them, but they're probably somewhere in the cabinet. I couldn't find them. But if you can share, we're on page 131. And I'll do the first one. Number 1, he doesn't study in this class anymore. Because what I want to say is that he was studying, but he's not anymore. Notice how the anymore came at the end of the sentence. That's usually the case. So let's see, who did the last one? Was Pew, did you do the last one? Or did I forgot where we were. Whose turn is it? Yeah, Ben. Okay, it'll be Ben's turn. Number 2.
Number 2. She is still working as a clerk in the building.
Okay, she is still working as a clerk in Burdines. Burdines. In America, Burdines is a store like Robinson's, or it's just the name of a department store. Yeah. Okay, so then number 3.
He is still teaching English in the
Okay. Pip, number 4.
Haley is still the